Hello everyone and welcome to your Nexus Princess Let Me Solo Her double question mark guide for hunters. I'm doing it as BM, even though I don't think BM is actually the best spec for this. In fact, I think it's probably the worst. But you know, people have done it as all free specs, but I think generally the prevailing wisdom is that BM is the hardest for these sorts of fights because keeping your pet alive is really rough. They're sort of designed to truck your pet way harder than they truck you, at least it seems like that. So yeah, that's something worth keeping in mind, but I know a lot of you are, most of you, statistically speaking, are going to be BM mains, and BM mains don't like to play the other specs so much, so I figure everything I'm going to show you here, you can apply to any of the other specs, and it's just going to be easier to some extent, because like BM just has more to babysit in terms of your pet HP, and so on. So this is the build I ran. It's just a full single target build, there's nothing special. The main difference is that over here you have a misdirection and this, I don't recall what it's called, not even close. I don't recall what it's called. But basically, when you MD, your pet takes 50% reduced damage. Keeping your pet alive here is one of the most important aspects, and that's really the main thing. Maybe there are other talent tricks I'm missing here. I'll let you know in the comments if anything changes about my understanding here, but this worked for me. I was 687 iLvl or so with pretty bad BM stats. I was mostly in MM. In terms of character setup and pre-preparation, get as much versatility as humanly possible. Versatility enchants, versatility gear, provided you don't lose item level to get it. As you can see, I ran 9% versa, which is actually on the lower side. You could get way more, which would make it way easier. Also, more haste than this would have been ideal, but this is what I had. I was mostly like in MM gear, and then I just tried to find some haste and versatility pieces that I could. Versatility weapon enchant, versatility fiber in my cloak, versatility flask, versatility ring enchants, and so on. I also forgot to use my augment rune here. Yeah, there are things that could be slightly better about this. In terms of pet, you want a tenacity cleft tooth and any ferocity pet. The ferocity pet is not super necessary, but lusting on this boss just kind of just free DPS and it might save you some time. But generally, like, DPS will not save this fight. You just have to get consistent at the mechanics and the boss will eventually die. The boss doesn't get harder the longer you go on. So, you know, while DPS helps you have to practice for less time, so to speak, it really is one of those things where you just have to turn your DPS brain off and focus on the mechanics, which is tremendously difficult for me. Yeah, there you go. So let's hop into it. I'm just gonna like walk you through the mechanics like a phase or two, and then I'm just going to let the video play out. What other info? Like brand, my brand was like obviously healer brand you want. Mine was rank 47, which is pretty low. I'm not sure how much that even matters. In terms of like the curios, I don't think any of them do anything worthwhile. I just put in, I think I learned like the Hatterang and the Battering something. But like that's just because I haven't unlocked any and they're all rank 1. So main thing is healer brand here. In terms of Uyghurs, I'll put a nice Uyghur that lets you know when Bran drops his healing pots. The sound alert. It requires the the Corsace shared media package for the audio. It basically just says pots when he's dropping pots, and that's kind of nice because you really don't want to take your eyes off this fight, especially in some of the most hectic parts. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. So first of all, before we even begin, have your ferocity pet summoned, start your dismiss pet cast, and then at the end of the cast, you pop your lust. In this case, you can see me at the end of the dismiss cast, I click the lust, I get the lust, then the pet is dismissed, then I summon my tenacity cleft tooth, and then I pull. Dodge. So you want to keep your mend pet active at all times. So I actually put it into my main Uyghur package here. If you want this Uyghur package, you can... it's available to all my Twitch subs and Patreon subs. It's updated for Season 3 and all that. Before you go in here, it's very important to pick up the pots that are dropped by Bran. You can see these red ones on the ground. You place these nether rifts on the one that Bran doesn't jump to. So you form this triangle here. That's how it works. After this, you're always going to get sucked to the center. This suck here is the heaviest damage that you're going to take, and that includes your pet. So this is when you pop your misdirection to reduce your pet's damage taken. If your pet is going to die, it's probably going to be here. This is the only time that I felt the need to pop misdirection myself. In terms of other defensives, I only needed to use Exile occasionally when I didn't have like healing pot stacks. As you can see, I have 3 here for this phase. Because sometimes the healing pot drops by Bran, they sort of line up at different parts of the fight in different phases in my experience. So keep an eye on your HP. For the most part, my rule was just if I drop below 50% HP, pop the exil. If I was ever paranoid for any other reason, then I would also pop survival of the fittest. But yeah, as soon as you get out here, next comes Dark Massacre, probably the toughest mechanic. So what I like to do for this fight is disengage close to the edge of the room where it turns black, but not all the way. These Dark Massacres, they will spawn these images around you, and you have to face them as they come charging for you. What worked for me, and I'm sure there's a few different schools of thought on how you can do this, is face the first one that comes at you, and then what worked for me is just react to the ones that light up afterwards. So this one, and then I'm just like looking for the line. I try to keep like sort of expect which one is going to come for me, but that's about it. Dodge. Before this dodge, always pick up. Don't try to pick up your orbs while dodging here. You will die. You have to 100% commit to just not dying to getting hit by that stuff. Here we get sucked to the middle. Once again, use misdirection. Keep the mend pet active. Here, drop below 50% HP so you can see me exil. Get relatively close to the edge of the room. Face them in the order that they come. You can try and like look out for which ones spawn first and face them in that direction. For me, it worked better to just react, but your brain is probably wide different than mine.
Intermission.
But that worked for me. Here comes the intermission, and from this moment, the fight repeats. For the intermission, I like to use Alt-Z, which is the default keybind. Sorry, I gotta clear my throat here. For the intermission, I like to use Alt-Z, which is the default keybind for hiding your UI. And that makes it easier to see where these are going. And in terms of where you face your camera, I don't like to do full top down. I like to sort of keep it like this. Another rule is I always keep, when she says which is real, this is how you know which one is real from the beginning. I always had that on the right side. If you want to have it somewhere else, that's completely fine, but make it consistent. Turn your camera so that she always starts in the same point. At least I found that helpful. And then angle your camera something like this. The goal is to sort of get a 3D sort of depth perception going on that you don't get when you look top down. Or look top down if that works better for you, but this is what works for me. And then obviously you just look where she's going. Try to blink between them. Like what you're really looking to, you just need to have your eyes open for the movement so you can blink in between. Another thing is once the phase ends and you're about to click the right one, it's nice to mend pet just before you click her. Another thing is as you come out of this phase, your pet is going to get absolutely trucked here in the beginning. Do not panic and do not use any defensives. Just wait for Bran to drop his pots because he's always going to drop pots at the beginning of this phase. Make sure to pick up all of these pots, all three here, before you have to dodge. Do not end up picking up pots while you're dodging. Try to pick them up before the Nexus daggers begins of each phase. That's like a very consistent thing that's going to come up at the beginning of every phase. Once again, as you get sucked to the center here, use your MD to keep your pet alive. If you drop low on HP, as you can see, use an exil here. Get relatively close to the edge of the room. You could definitely have done better than I did there. Face them in the order that they spawn. Try to just react to them spawning more than anything. One more pro tip. To make these a bit easier to see, the edges of them, turn off anti-aliasing in your graphics settings. I will put this and a bunch of other small tips in the description. And yeah, that's about it. Face them in the order that they come. Don't focus on your rotation while doing this. Like if you can do it in the back, like from muscle memory, great. But if you can't, it's okay. This is not a DPS fight. If you are going to like spam a button while you're dodging the Dark Massacres, make it mend pet.
Dodge.
Here, Nexus daggers, focus fully on dodging. Here I get a little bit panicked and our turtle, I probably didn't need to, but turtle can be used if you're in a panic situation for the dodges, but turtle will not work for Dark Massacres. Alright, here we're back on it. My pet drops a little bit low, so I panic a bit and I use Survival of the Fittest plus the MD just to make sure we're completely fine, but at this point, Bran actually drops his pots while we're in the center, and picking up the pots also heals your pet, so it ended up being totally fine. Get close to the edge of the room so that these don't spawn inside or behind Bran. Face them in the order that they spawn. You get the idea. So here it's just full focus on dodging. Make sure we amend pet. And here we are. And here comes the next intermission. Do not cast Bloodshed or summon a pack leader beast with a kill command right before the intermission. You want that damage for after the intermission. Okay, here we are. Once again, hide UI. Wherever she spawns, put her on the left side of the, or right side of your screen, wherever you want. And don't look top down, just look kind of semi from the side, like top 3/4 sort of view. Pop mend pet before you actually click her, which I don't here, but I recommend doing that. Do not panic about your pet's HP here. Pick up the pots the moment that they spawn, and then focus fully on dodging, and now the fight repeats. So once again, just like, you'll do this many times, so let's just drill it. Okay, place at the edge here. As you get sucked to the center, make sure mend pet is up. Activate your mend pet and your misdirection. Exhale if you drop below 50% HP, which is going to happen most of the time. For the Dark Massacre, get relatively close to the edge of the room, then face them in the order that they spawn, or just react to how they line up. Before you do the Nexus daggers, always pick up potions. Try not to pick up potions while you're dodging. Or at least pick them up after, because you don't take much damage during the dodge. But do not try to pick up potions while dodging, it'll just screw you over in my opinion. Once again, get sucked to the center, use misdirection on your pet for the damage reduction, keep that mend pet on CD, get relatively close to the edge of the screen, face them in the order that they come, do not try to pick up dodge while doing Dark Massacre. As soon as the mechanic is over, you can see I cheated to the center, pick up the pots before dodging the daggers. Then I'm fully focused on dodging here. Intermission again. Do not place bloodshed. Do not summon a beast. Hide your UI with all set. Get her on the left side of your screen. Top 3/4 view. And you focus here. Coming out of the phase. Pop mend pet the moment the phase starts. Do not panic even though your pet is getting trucked. Be patient. Wait for Brand to drop his pots. Pick up all the pots. Then get ready to repeat the fight. Dodge the daggers. Full focus on dodging. Pop mend pet on cooldown. Nether Rift. Put it in the appropriate place. Get ready to misdirection as you get pulled to the center. Phase ends. Go to the center. Pet is a little bit low HP. Mend pet. Misdirection. And if you're a little bit panicked like I am here, pop a health pot. Do not let your pet die. Pop a survival with the fittest if you have to. Face them in the order that they spawn. Do not try to pick up pots while these are going on. Just face them. Pick up the pots as you're coming out of that mechanic before the Nexus daggers. Then focus 100% on dodging. Keep that mend pet active. Place the Nether Rift appropriately with disengage. If you don't have disengage, it's kind of fine. Get close to the center. Get sucked to the center. Pop survival of the fittest and misdirection if you're worried about your pet's HP. Dark Massacre, get a little bit far away from the boss so that you're not placing these inside the boss. Face them in the order that they spawn. Keep mend pet used on CD, even better than I'm doing here. Nexus daggers, no pots here, but that's totally fine. Pots are going to come up in a moment. Intermission. Do not pop, so bloodshed there was probably a little bit of a waste. Same thing here. Get her on the left side, UI off, and sort of top 3/4 view. Once again, mend pet before you click. Then get into it. Do not panic. I'm just drilling. I know I'm repeating myself, but like this is the rhythm of the fight that you just have to get into your head. And it has to become second nature. That's what worked for me at least. Here we are. Place at the edge of the room. Misdirection as you get close to the center. Survival of the fittest if you're a little bit worried here. This is like as far as I'd ever gotten until this point, so I was a little bit panic mode, playing very safe. Get far away from the boss, place these appropriately. Here, try to pick up some pots while doing this. I do not necessarily recommend doing that, but I've done it so many times by now, I felt comfortable with it. But don't like go out of your way to do that. Certainly pick up the pots before you have to do Nexus daggers, because that's just the best time to do it in my opinion. I guess you can also do it after. And that's also fine. Then they might overlap better with this mechanic, but yeah, maybe that's a little bit better actually. Once again, if you're worried here, exhale, survival of the fittest, but always remember to misdirection there. Get far away from the boss so that you can see these very clearly. Do not try to pick up pots while doing it. Instead, after the mechanic ends, pick up your pots right before this dodge. Keep that mend pet going. I get a final intermission here, but after this point, the fight is basically over. So that's it. It's a tough one, especially week 1. Lots of versatility gear. Go back to the beginning of the video for like character preparation stuff. I know I repeated myself a lot this video, but you know, you really have to drill the exact rhythm of the fight if you want to like sort of cut down the attempts you use on this fight. It will get way easier with gear. Item level, there's a huge difference because at a certain point, like a few weeks from now, you won't have to babysit your pet's HP nearly as much, and that frees up your sort of cognitive real estate for everything else. But yeah, I hope that was useful. Any questions, let me know in the comments below and I'll try to answer. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Until next time, bye-bye.